Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and through you to the members. I rise before you today in support of this bill. This is essential. Back December 11th, 2008, when I was a representative-elect, my region and my town experienced a devastating ice storm. We had over an inch of ice covering everything. You could not drive through my town without a roadblock, a tree, an accident, something in your way. It was devastating. But that's not exactly what we're here to talk about today. We live in New England. These things happen. We expect our public safety officials to be prepared. We expect ourselves to be prepared. We expect our public utilities to be prepared because that is their responsibility. So a few days after the storm, when I hadn't seen a single utility truck in my town, I headed over to the Emergency Operations Center, having just found out what an EOC was, and spent the next 2 weeks fielding calls from my soon-to-be constituents about their inability to get any reaction, any support, any information from their utility provider. The public safety officials in my town could not get any information, any support, any reaction from our public utility provider. 5 days after the storm, that Wednesday, I had been invited to the State House for a meet and greet with the governor. As I drove down Route 2, I entered another world. I entered a world that had power, that had people out working, living their daily lives. I entered the State House and cornered the governor, quite frankly, and begged him for help because we simply could not do this on our own. The governor worked with his administration, made phone calls, asked for help from other parts of the state and the region, and still nothing changed. 10 days into the storm, my town was still without power. We still did not have utility trucks on the streets, and my constituents still could not get a phone call through to their provider to say they were still in an outage, to say that they were supposed to be on a medical priority list, and they still didn't have power. On that weekend, the lieutenant governor came and met with Unitil, along with MEMA and EOPS administrators, and they came up with an idea that we would essentially manage this operation through conference calls with the governor, with the local delegation to get it done. This never should have happened. This bill allows us moving into the future to have a level of security and protection for our consumers, for our neighbors that they deserve. So moving forward in this bill, we have a provision to allow emergency management directed from MEMA and from the DPU. So if a utility provider puts their people in danger, which is what happened in December, we have assurance that someone will come in without me, a new legislator, to come beg for help at the State House. But there is a system in place to protect the people. And this isn't the first time this has happened. We're not simply reacting to something that happened because we felt like it. I've lived in this town since 1996. This has happened before. They did not learn from their past mistakes, and there are simply not the incentives and the protection for people, for these companies, or this company in particular, to step up to the plate and fulfill their duty. So I'm asking you to protect not only my constituents, but your constituents, because this could happen anywhere. And please, I ask for your support on this very, very important legislation. And Mr. Speaker, I respectfully ask when there is a vote taken that it be on the call of the yeas and nays. Thank you.
Lady requests. Lady requests when a vote be taken to be called by yeas and nays. Those joining with her will please rise. First Division, 20. Sufficient number have arisen. When the vote is taken, to be taken by a call of the yeas and nays.
Roll call will be open and remain open for 4 minutes.